as it is just about to be senior night here for Pioneer women's hockey. As all the Pioneer players down below us, both the JV and the varsity. The junior varsity was able to beat Skyline by a score of 2-1 in the game right before this. It's Pioneer getting lined up on the blue line to the right. I think they're going to try and honor the Skyline seniors as well. I believe that's what I heard. We will see. We have a little senior booklet that the team was very, very kind to give us here. So we will see if Mr. Lon reads from that or across the way, then I might read it just so you can hear it. But we'll bring this up and see what happens. See if we can hear it through the microphone. If not, Steve over there on the mic, but sometimes it's hard to hear with the echoing, and we have a shotgun mic over there, but we're not connected directly to their microphone, so. Lots of folks down, and I don't know how it became senior night already. This winter season has gone by quick. We haven't been able to broadcast as many Pioneer women's hockey games as we would have liked to.
Welcome to our final game of the season. Tonight, we honor the 2026 graduates. First, we'd like to recognize the graduates of the Skyline Huskies.
So announcing the Skyline Huskies. Richie being announced for Skyline. Beach from Huron comes over. Richie was from Skyline. It's Gabby Roach, I believe, from Skyline. Heather Schreiber. He being announced. Sabrina Jewell being announced from Skyline. Do not have that JV player. That would be Brunjevich, I believe. Stephanie Chang being announced. Greenberg being announced. Huge round of applause. So congratulations to all the Skyline players, though, from Skyline Huron and one from Community. We appreciate all of you out there, and we know that they'll go on to have amazing adventures coming up after this. So now announcing the Pioneer seniors. Abby Portinga being announced. not. Jillian Cundiff being announced. See if I can read what's in the program between periods. Glenn O'Brien being announced, number 15. GK being announced. Tachi being announced. Congratulations to all the seniors. What Steve read across the way was not exactly what I had on the little senior booklet here, so I'll read that between second and third period when we get a bit of a break. But always a bittersweet day here, senior day, as you know, really appreciate and honor all of these seniors who have played for this team and given their effort, their sweat, their teamwork and everything towards this team. It's been fantastic to get to watch them. It's sad because we know we won't get to see them wearing the purple and white much longer, or for Skyline, see them with the Huskies much longer. So bittersweet. A wonderful way to celebrate all of the things that these fantastic athletes have done for their teammates, for their school. I'd also wish them the best going on and hope they have an amazing adventure coming up next after high school. Sounds like they're trying to bring the Pioneer coaches on the ice. Try and get their picture with the captains and all the seniors there. Appreciate all the wonderful captains and all the coaches who have given so much to this team and helped grow the sport of women's hockey, which is a fantastic sport and could use a lot more love, a lot more attention. Love to see a D1 NCAA women's team in the state of Michigan. Love to see a PWHL team in the state of Michigan try and grow. We appreciate all of you watching and cheering and celebrating these wonderful athletes out there. Let's get some pictures taken and all, and then they will have, I believe, 8 minutes up on the clock for a warm-up. And then at that point, we'll have the final home game, Pioneer versus Skyline. Also, a huge thank you to all the parents of all the players. I know it's many hours getting to the rink very early or very late, and supporting your children throughout all of their wonderful, amazing adventures. And we appreciate all of the dedication of all the parents out there, helping make this team possible, helping make their athletes' journey here possible. Greenberg coming over and talking to the scorer's bench there for the Huskies. They have it wonderfully decorated as well. All the pictures of the players up behind the bench, a little purple and white all over the place. And some fantastic parents did some amazing decorating there. Good crowd today for the final home game. Don't believe, is Skyline going to play again here at Vets? I can pull that up here. They have 2 more games, 3 more games happening on the 7th versus Regina Lutheran North here at Vets, versus Washington United on the 11th, and versus St. Clair Shores on the 18th. As here comes the teams out to get warmed up. 8-minute countdown up there. Pioneer is 9-11-1 on the season. Skyline Huron, or the Huskies, are 4-14 on the season. Taking a look at Pioneer and their schedule. They started off versus this same Huron Skyline team. That was a 8-3 win by Pioneer. They're going to try and duplicate that effort today. They had a tie versus Washington United in their second game. They had wins versus Sacred Heart United, versus Plymouth Canton Salem, and St. Clair Shores. They lost Livonia United, Bloomfield Birmingham, Washington United, Grosse Pointe North, and Mid-Michigan Alliance. Had a big win back on the 12th of December versus Sacred Heart, and then beating Bloomfield Birmingham back on the 17th. They lost to Greater Flint United. That was back on the 20th of December. Their first game on the 7th versus Walled Lake was a 7-3 loss. They beat Northville 1-0, that over at the Big Boy Arena, Rink 5. They lost to Regina Lutheran North 10-2 back here at Vets on the 14th of January. Big win versus this Huron Skyline team 9-0 back on the 15th of January. And Pioneer lost 2-1 to Livonia United on the 18th. On the 28th, they lost to Cransbrook Kingswood. On the 30th, they lost to Walled Lake. That was a 4-2. And then they beat Grosse Pointe North over at the AESH Ice Arena. That on the 31st, 5-3. Their next couple games, they will be on the 6th, 5:30 over at Cransbrook Kingswood over at Wallace Ice Arena there. Then on the 12th, they'll have a 5:15 game over at Regina Lutheran North. It's going to be a Big Boy Arena. And then finally, they will be versus Washington United at the Arctic Coliseum. That is a 4 p.m. game. Take a look at your top scorers for Pioneer. Hebert is the top in points, 25 points on 18 assists, or 18 goals and 7 assists. Sorry, my spreadsheet doesn't quite line up. Shikachi has 23 points, 12 goals and 11 assists. Portinga has 22 points on 13 goals and 9 assists. Joe has 18 points on 15 goals and 3 assists. And Pace rounding out the top 5 with 16 points on 4 goals and 12 assists out there. Taking a look at the goalkeepers' statistics. Soriano has played 10 games. There's a 4.09 goals against average and 8.45 save percentage. Ravelli has played 15 games, and she has a 4.14 save percentage, or 4.14 goals against average and an 8.09 save percentage. I don't know if the shots always get absolutely properly calculated there, but both the goalkeepers very solid behind the net. Take a look at Huron Skyline. Again, they lost that first game to Pioneer. Then they lost to Greater Flint United back on the 7th of November. They lost to Downton River United on the 8th of November. They beat Bloomfield Birmingham on the 19th of November. They lost to Walled Lake on the 21st of November. On the 22nd, they lost to Grosse Pointe North. They lost to Cranswood Kingswood on the 6th of December. Then played Washington United, lost that one on the 7th of December. On the 13th of December, they played Livonia United, who won that one. Bloomfield Birmingham beat them on the 14th of December, and Walled Lake beat them on the 20th of December. To open up the calendar year on the 9th, they lost to Grosse Pointe North. They beat St. Mary's Sacred Heart Academy, that on the 10th of January, 6-1. They lost to Pioneer back on the 15th of January. They beat Plymouth Canton Salem on the 16th of January. Lost a close one to Sacred Heart United. That would be back on the 23rd of December. They had a win versus the GRAHA Griffins, a Tier 3 team. They beat them 5-3. Didn't get a score on the game on the 25th versus Downriver. They did lose on the 1st to Regina Lutheran North. Taking a look at the Huskies' top scores. Greenberg has 25 points on 12 goals and 13 assists. Beach has 24 points on 12 goals and 12 assists. 16 points for Nalapa. She has 13 goals and 3 assists. Faggy has 9 points on 4 goals and 3 assists. And Matthews Nauman has 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists to round out the top 10. Looking at the goalkeeper's statistics, playing 12 games is Troy. She has a 6.01 goals against average and 6.34 save percentage. 2 wins, 7 losses, no ties. Song has played 3 games, 4.82 goals against average and a 7.69 save percentage. 1 win, 2 losses. And Bossman has 12 goals against average with a 6.63 save percentage, 3 losses there. So we have about a minute 44 seconds before we get to wrapping up the warm-up here. Let's play a quick push on, and then we will be back with the starting lineups. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're about to get going here with the starting lineups, 15 minutes up on the clock. Here on Skyline, lined up, the Huskies over to our left. Over to the right is Pioneer. The 22nd year of Ann Arbor Pioneer women's ice hockey. McWilliams skates out to the blue line. Nalepa skates out to the blue line. Greenberg skates out to the blue line, the captain. Jewell, the starting defense, go out to the blue line. Renewitz comes out. And looks like Bossman is going to start unless Troy's wearing a different number. Bossman wearing number 1 there, so that's who was announced. Now Pioneer getting ready. Kong being announced, skating out to the blue line. Chikachi comes out to the blue line. Portinga skates out to the blue line. Kundev skates out to the blue line on defense. O'Brien skates out to the blue line. Ravelli starting between the pipes for Pioneer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, down to America, the playing of the national anthem.
Before today's game, let's take a moment to show our appreciation for our country. But those who are able to please rise and, as a sign of respect, move your hat to the playing of a special rendition of our national anthem.
believe that was a message about sportsmanship. We'll move this just a little down, getting ready to go. Ravelli set up to our right. Pioneer going from right to left. Here versus the Huskies of Huron Skyline. 15 minutes up on the clock, getting ready to go here. Final Pioneer home game. Greenberg set up to take the face-off. Portinga on the other side. And we are underway. Puck right at center ice. Chip down the far boards. Shikachi firing it back in deep. And puck all the way back into the near corner. Racing back to get it. Comes in along the far board. Stopped there by Shikachi. Trying to go. It just gets past. In along the near boards. Cundiff trying to fire it back deep. Puck right back behind the goal. Right back behind Bossman. Now out in front. Slips past. Grab. As Kung sends it. Knocked down in along the far boards. Now McWilliams has it. Trying to chip it ahead. Pioneer trying to pinch. That puck comes out. Here comes Greenberg. Greenberg racing down the far boards into the Pioneer zone. Greenberg trying to get past. Tipped. Good job by Cundiff. And steered outside the near circle. Grabbed. Held in by Grinjevic. And puck all the way back. Grinjevic sends it all the way across. Now fired back by Jewell. That'll go back deep into the Pioneer zone. Forgive me, Husky fans there with all the senior celebration, a little technical difficulty early on. I did not get a chance to meet with any of the Huron Skyline coaches like I always want to. So forgive me if I mispronounce things. Do my best. McCullis on the other side. That puck. Beach trying to get it down the far board. Sent to the center. Grabbed. Petriga trying to get it to the blue line. Knocked down there by Bacallis over in along the far boards. Bergman trying to send it out in front. Beach has it now. Beach gets it to the blue line. Racing ahead. Down the far boards. That fed in. All the way down. I believe that was Allen. That puck into the near corner. Deflected off the goal. Now Horvath coming down the far boards for Pioneer. Held in at the far point. Back down there by Faggy. Out in front. Ravelli with the save and then a goal. At 13-15. Looks like that was Beach on the goal. And 1-0 is our score here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. Huskies come back out there. It's going to be Heben versus Beach for the face-off. Coming ahead, Heben trying to get to it, tip the other direction. Grabbed, here comes Beach, knocked away, right at center ice. Heben making a move into the Husky zone. Heben with a shot that just goes wide to the far side. And puck right back behind the goal and along the near boards. Huskies bring it ahead, coming down. Faggy down the near side. There's that puck into the near corner. Ooh, there is a Pioneer player down. Believe that's Woodside. Really appreciate Bossman coming over to see if she's all right. Trainers coming out. We never want to see any of these athletes injured. All the Husky players take a knee. Pioneer players right by the player taking a knee. Again, with high school, we do not put the camera on the injured player to give them just a modicum of privacy there as they're dealing with things. Ravelli and the other 4 players not down have taken a knee by the far circle. Trainers continuing to work on the player who's on their back. Again, I couldn't absolutely identify who that was. I saw 3, but I don't want to worry any parents and guesstimate there. So the trainers are gonna be working hard. Gosh, we really hope that this player is all right. Doesn't matter the team, doesn't matter the player. You just don't want to see any of these amazing, wonderful athletes injured. It is indeed, looks like Woodside 36. If she's able to sit up, we're very grateful for that. Little help up as Cundiff helps her up. The officials come over, I think, to make sure she's all right and to try and help get the gear. As they're going to help Woodside off the ice. Gosh, we hope she's all right. She's being helped off by her teammates. Not putting a lot of weight on those legs. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that she will be all right, and most importantly, it's nothing severe. So we really appreciate trainers being out there trying to keep our athletes healthy and trying to deal with when things don't go right and injuries do occur. So very, very grateful for all the trainers out there who help keep our athletes as healthy as possible. They'll take a look at her and work on her just to the far side of the bench. 12:41 or 12:49 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Huskies with the lead. Face off in the near face-off circle. That comes back to Grinjevit. Grinjevit sends it into the far corner. That puck right back behind the goal. Now off the side of the goal. Fired in front. Loose. Trying to knock it away. Ravelli with a save. 12:35 left here in the first. 1-0. Skyline with the lead. He taking the face-off versus Portinga in the far face-off circle. That puck tipped out into the neutral zone. Coming ahead with it. Moved over. Portinga trying to get to it. That puck deep into the near corner. Portinga trying to pull it away. Kong back there. And the puck all the way back down the near boards. O'Brien races back to get it. O'Brien, the senior, gets it over. Alexis Young has it. Alexis Young trying to tip that away. Now Kong right outside the near circle in the Pioneer zone. That puck back into the neutral zone. Runjevic puts it in along the far boards. Now here comes Pioneer out in front. Right through the crease. That puck in along the near boards. Ricci trying to get it down the ice. Ricci has it. Now Cundiff trying to fire it the other way. Kong trying to get it. Portinga that over in along the far boards. Shikachi fires it back deep. That puck right back behind Bossman into the near corner. Jewell rims it all the way around the boards in along the far side. Meyer trying to get to it. Now Greenberg coming ahead with it. Greenberg over her own blue line. Greenberg over center, 2-on-1, trying to move it in along the near boards. That puck with it, I believe that's Nalepa with it back behind, trying to feed it out in front. That puck, good save by Ravelli. And it's cleared all the way back into the Husky zone. That is going to be icing, and that'll head back into the Pioneer end. Face off in the far face-off circle. That to Ravelli's right. Greenberg in to take the face off. I believe that's Heben on the other side. Puck back to the blue line. In along the far board, shot there by Figge. Pulled back behind by Horvath. Horvath trying to feed it around down to the far circle. Knocked around. Here comes Bergman. Held in at the far point. Now loose on the far circle. That just goes wide to the near side. Gathered up by Heben. Trying to send it right back behind her own goal. Grabbed there by Greenberg. Greenberg trying to feed it out in front. That deflects all the way back to the near point. Grab there. Trying to fire it back deep. And right back into the neutral zone. Here comes Heben. Heben gets it into the Husky zone. Heben trying a backhanded it up, knocked outside to the near circle. That shot just goes wide. Bergman trying to get it in along the far boards. That back to the far point. Fired back in. It's chasing it over there was McWilliams. outside the near circle. Held in. Heben trying to fire it back deep right at the near point. And puck outside the near circle now loose. Heben trying to get to it. Now that pulled the other direction. Here comes Greenberg. Greenberg down the near boards. Greenberg into the Pioneer zone. Shot, rising shot there, just over the crossbar. Horvath brings it ahead down the far boards into the neutral zone. Allen kicks it right back into the Pioneer end. Cundiff gets it back behind Ravelli. Cundiff back behind her own goal. 9:45 left to go here in the first. 1-0. As the Huskies, good shot there. Ravelli with the save. That fired out in front. Cundiff knocks it away from Harm. Cundiff sends it down the near boards. Grabbed by Pace. Pace trying to feed it over. Loose right at neutral zone. Fired right back in by Beach. Beach puts it into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Cundiff has it there. Trying to avoid pressure by Petriga. Outside the far circle now. Beach into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. That puck underneath the near circle. Trying to bring it ahead is Portinga. Portinga over the blue line. Portinga ahead. And trying to bring it in. That puck knocked away as McCall is trying to get it deep. Grabbed in along those far boards. McBrien gets it ahead. Here comes McCall. McCall into the zone. McCall fired. That deflected out. That moved away. Right back into the neutral zone. O'Brien ricochets it off the near board. Alexis Young trying to feed it right to the blue line, but knocked away by the Huskies right in front of their own bench. Ricci trying to get to it. That down the far boards. Here comes Bacalus. Bacalus, top of the far circle. Shot there. And just goes wide to the near side. Pace trying to get to it. And back underneath, trying to fire it out in front. That deflects into the far corner. Gathering it up back there is Meyer. Meyer trying to move it ahead. That knocked down. Working her way across is Bacalus. Bacalus trying to move it over to Pace. That shot right through the crease. Even with that shot. That knocked down and covered up by Bossman. 8:08 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Huskies with the lead over Pioneer. Here on Skyline, Huskies are in their white jerseys with the green on the sleeves and across the middle there. I think the JV uniforms still say Skyline. I'm not sure if they still go by that. I know they did get the Huskies mascot just a few years ago. That fired up by Shikachi, deflected into the far corner. Bringing it back, Faggy. And fired back along the far boards over to take it. Estella Young rims it all the way around into the near corner. Gathered up there by Pioneer. And pulling it around is Heben. Heben onto the far circle. Heben looking for a shot. That off into the far corner. Faggy moves it all the way down the near boards. Cundiff grabs it right at center ice. Cundiff all the way along the far board. Shikachi trying to bring it in. Shikachi enters the Husky zone onto the far circle. Shikachi feeding it right out in front. That grab. Heben with a shot. This goes wide to the far side. And puck loose on the far side of the goal. Now brought in along the far boards. And racing ahead with it. Here comes here comes Faggy. Faggy onto the near circle. Shot there. Ravelli with a save. Into the near corner. Trying to pull that away. Puck right to the blue line. Down the far boards of the neutral zone. Gathered up back there by Faggy. Now pulling it down the near boards. Fed ahead by Jewell. Puck down the far boards. McWilliams has it in front of the scorer's bench. And knocked away by Pioneer. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Shikachi. Deflected off of escape. Grabbed there by Kong. Now with it, Estella Young moves it down the near boards. Pioneer on the line change. Beach trying to bring it in. Grabbed by Portinga. Portinga into the Husky zone. Portinga in along the far boards. Taken away. Here comes the other direction. Petriga has it onto the far circle. Petriga firing. Ravelli with the save. 6:16 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Huskies with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Beach in to take the face-off versus Portinga. And on the far side of Ravelli. Back into the neutral zone. Jewell has the puck. Feeds it down the near boards. Grinjevich puts it into the near corner. Pulled away by Horvath there. Beach Trying to dig it out, fires it ahead, and that goes all the way back to the far point. Jewel holds it in there. Shot knocked down out in front, steered away by Horvath. Beach trying to grab it into the far corner. That comes into the near corner. Petriga trying to center it. Knocked away. Coming ahead is Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld ricochets it off the near boards. Grinjevic puts it outside the near circle. Rosenfeld trying to knock it away. That grab by Portinga in the slot. Portinga moves it down the far boards. Gathered, coming in with it. Here comes Pioneer. Shot there. That just goes wide. That puck back to the near point. Held in there by Heben. Heben trying to fire it out in front. That puck back to Alexis Young. Alexis Young feeds it out in front. That deflects over. Trying to feed it ahead. Over there's Allen. That back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to reset. Heben has it at her own blue line, trying to avoid Ricci. Heben gains his own far circle. Shot there, gets deflected into the far corner by Jewel. Heben back behind the goal. That comes all the way back to the near point. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff trying to feed it to the far side of the goal. Over to Heben. Heben moves it back and along the far boards. That picked up. Yee into the neutral zone. Now down the near boards, trying to get to it is Meyer. She goes down. Ricci with the shot, but that pulled away. Heben heading the other direction for Pioneer. Heben over on blue line down the near boards, trying to get it ahead to pace. That's sent back to center ice. Heben grabs it there. Heben over center ice, weaving through traffic, gains the Husky zone. Heben with the shot. That got deflected right back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up. 4:17 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Huskies with the lead, coming ahead with it. Faggy has it into the zone. Faggy outside the far circle, stopping there. Moves it back into the slot. Shot that just goes wide into the near corner. As that's Shomack who had it back at the far point. Shot deflects. Ravelli with the save. Puck into the far corner. Cundiff moves it ahead. Bacalus trying to make a move into the neutral zone. That puck loose. Now racing down the near boards. Greenberg chases it in. And Shomack puts it back deep behind the Pioneer goal. And puck all the way down into the Husky zone outside the far circle. Grabbed and moved over there by Grinjevich. Greenberg has it. Greenberg right at center ice, knocked away by Portinga. Portinga moves it all the way across. That puck in along the near boards. Pace trying to move it in. Poke back away the other direction. Loose. Trying to pull that around was Nalepa. Nalepa. That puck all the way down in along the far boards. Jewel trying to get to it first. That puck sent right back into the neutral zone. Fired back deep by Estella Young. Puck back behind the Husky goal. Now bringing it ahead. Grinjevich has it at her own far point. Grinjevich fires it back to the blue line. Estella Young gets trapped. Puck went right off of the lineman. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Shikachi. Shikachi. Shot from the far circle. Blocked by Jewel. Jewel has had a number of good blocks thus far. 2:28 left to go. Shikachi outside the far circle. Centering attempt. Out in front. Kung with the shot. As that puck, Bossman with the save. That comes all the way outside the far circle. Battle for it there. That puck sent all the way down the ice into the Pioneer zone. That'll be a shot on goal, and Ravelli will move it over. Cundiff has it with 2:05 left to go here in the first. Cundiff ricochets it back into the neutral zone. That grab. Shomack sends it back into the near corner. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff ricochets it down the far board. Shikachi banks off the far board, trying to move it across. Beach knocks it down. That puck brought back by Fagit. Back behind her own goal. Fagit sends it down the near boards. That puck knocked down by Cundiff, brought in by Beach. Estella Young steers it wide, back behind her own goal. Estella Young coming down the far boards. That puck into the neutral zone, loose at the Pioneer blue line. Sent right back. Cundiff has it over on blue line. Cundiff brings the head for Pioneer. Cundiff gains the Husky zone. There's a shot. Bossman with the save. Puck in along the near boards as that's sent all the way down the ice. That is going to be icing with 1:13 left to go here in the first. that puck will come back into the Husky zone in the near face-off circle. That to Bossman's right. Keeping in to take the face-off. Shot there, just goes high, racing back to get it. Grinjevic has it down the far boards. Grinjevic gains the Pioneer zone, backhanded shot, steered away by Cundiff. Bergman has it down the far boards, 53 seconds left to go in the first. 1-0, Huskies with the lead. Into the far corner, Yee has it. Yee trying to center it, blasted off the far board. Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. Jewell holds it in at the far point. Right into the slot. That steered just wide by Horvath. Horvath trying to get it over to Rosenfeld. That puck down the near boards. Knocked down. Ricci trying to pull it away. Horvath now gets it over on blue line. Horvath works away down the far boards. That fed in. Knocked away by Meyer. Now moved over to Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld down the near boards of the neutral zone. Chips it into the Husky end, but that brought right back into the neutral zone in front of the Husky bench with 8 seconds left to go. That puck all the way down the far boards. 4, 3, 2, 1. That will do it at the end of one. It is 1-0. As Huron Skyline, the Huskies have the lone goal. That was at 13-15. That goal was by Beach. We'll play a quick few messages from the MHSAA.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted. Just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're about to get back going for the second, Pioneer going from left to right here in the second period. Bossman skates down to the right. Ravelli to our left. 1-0, Huskies with the lead. Greenberg in to take the face-off versus Portinga at center ice. Pace on one side, Shikachi on the other. That puck back into the Pioneer zone. Horvath coming down the far boards. Horvath trying to get it away. That pulled loose in along the far board. Shot there. Is trying again. A backhanded shot. Still loose. Ravelli with the save. Nalepa with a couple great opportunities. Nalepa again. Right out in front. That puck fired from the top of the far circle. Deflected in along the near boards. Portinga racing to get it. Portinga trying to ricochet it right back into the neutral zone. Now racing to bring it in. Fagit in along the blue line. Fagit outside the far circle. Now Fagit comes back behind the goal trying to fire it out in front. That puck loose, turning, shot, good save by Ravelli. Sliding from the near side to the far side. Puck held in at the far point. As that sent back deep, as that was Shomak who had it. Greenberg back behind the goal, trying to shake herself free, tipped away in along the near boards. Now Alexis Young feeds it back behind the Pioneer goal. Horvath has it there. Horvath pulled away Centering attempt. Portinga has it. And stolen right back away, trying to work her way in. Nalepa with it. And puck in along the near boards. Pioneer clears it all the way down the ice. That will be icing, but in high school, you can get a line change on icing. So Pioneer able to get some fresh players out there. 13:36 left to go here in the second, excuse me. 1-0 Huskies with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Beechin to take the face-off. Eben on the other side. That puck all the way down in along the far boards in neutral zone. Racing back to get it. Grinovich has it in along the near boards. Grab there. Backhanded attempt. Comes right back into the neutral zone. O'Brien with it there. O'Brien feeds it all the way across. Cundiff down the near boards. McAllis trying to get to it. And puck chipped ahead by Ricci. Now coming back to the Pioneer blue line. Collision there. Beach trying to feed it ahead. Heben has it right in front of her own goal. Heben coming down the far boards. Heben over her own blue line. Heben over center ice. Gains the zone. Outside the far circle. Heben trying to fire it back deep. That lifted right back into the neutral zone. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff over center ice. Sends it along the near boards. Bacallis had it. Now bringing it in is Beach. That puck wouldn't settle down. Tipped in along the far boards. Rosenfeld gets it back to the far point. Held in by Petriga. And puck in along the end boards. Cundiff has it in the far corner of the Pioneer zone. That puck lifted ahead. Here comes Heben over her own blue line. Heben over center ice. Racing ahead with it. Heben moving it down the near boards. Heben top of the near circle. Now shot. As that one saved by Bossman, comes outside the near circle. Bacallis with it. Bacallis moved off the puck. Yee has it. Yee trying to get it out of the zone. Rosenfeld had it. Now that tip right back into the neutral zone. Cundiff races back to get it in along the far side of her own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Meyer. Now Cundiff down the far boards. Ricci trying to get to it. And steered in by Chikachi. Outside the far circle, Chikachi trying to get to it. Into the far corner. Chikachi still trying to poke that away. Gets it back over. Grabbed. Cundiff feeds it. That goes just wide into the near corner. Racing over to get it is Chikachi. Chikachi. Backhanded attempt knocked away. Yee has it. Now fired back deep by Bergman. Loose. Meyer trying to feed it ahead. Yee has it. Bergman again trying to knock that down. Now Pace fires it back deep. And puck right back behind Bossman, deep in the Husky zone. Now into the far corner. Huskies take it back behind their own goal, move it in along the near boards. Petriga trying to get to it. Puck loose. Excuse me, that was Meyer. Back to Bergman. Bergman with the shot. That knocked down in front, trying to get to it in front. Chikachi with the shot. That deflects into the near corner. 10:57 left to go here in the second. 1-0. Huron Skyline with the lead. Bergman trying to fire it back deep. Portinga just on the near side. Underneath the near circle, Chikachi Tree trying to feed it into the slot. Held in at the far point, blasted there. And puck will go outside the near circle. And along the end boards. Jewell has it. Jewell feeds it down. Bergman holds it at the near point. Tipped. Portinga out in front, and Chikachi just missed. Oh, trying to get a puck, stick on the puck, and it just skipped over. That is going to be icing and head back into the Husky zone with 10:15 left to go here in the second. 1-0. Huskies with the lead. Bossman has been steady between the nets, so has Ravelli, who's made a number of great saves. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That's going to be Greenberg versus Heben. Puck underneath the near circle. Rimmed all the way around the boards, trying to get it to the near point. Held in there by Horvath. Grabbed from the slot, and moving it down the far boards. And brought into the neutral zone, still battling. Shomack had it. Now here comes Greenberg into the Pioneer zone. Greenberg onto the far circle. Alexis Young drives her wide. Shot there. Ravelli has it. Now that puck back into the neutral zone. Fagit has it at center ice. Fagit trying to move it ahead. Grabbed by Alexis Young. Now she gets into the neutral zone. Offside the call. So the Huskies hadn't quite cleared before Nalepa brought it in. 9:40 left to go here in the second, 1-0. Huskies with the lead. Heben in there versus Greenberg. Puck in along the far boards. Tipped. That puck sitting right at the far point. Bringing it, Pioneer zone. Nalepa trying to feed it back into the far corner. Now Greenberg has it there. Centering attempt. Shot. Ravelli with the save. Puck underneath the near circle. Centering attempt. That deflects. Ravelli with another save on a point-blank shot. Oh, the Huskies had an opportunity, but Ravelli shut it down as Greenberg was just on the far side of the goal. Tipped all the way back. Faggy has it into the far corner. She comes back behind her own goal, coming down the near boards. Faggy trying to get around. Bacallis. Faggy over center ice, gaining the Pioneer zone. Cundiff trying to drive her wide. Right back behind the goal and trying a centering attempt. That'll go right back into the neutral zone. McWilliams moves it over to Jewell at her own blue line. That fired right to center ice, bringing that in. Making a move that tipped away. Here comes Pioneer. Heben has it at center ice. Heben racing ahead with it. Heben makes a move. Heben trying a shot that went off of a skate. Loose. Top of the near circle. Now that pulled away. Beach heads the other direction for the Huskies. Beach gains the zone. Top of the far circle. Beach stops there. Backhanded shot. That intercepted by Alexis Young. She feeds it. It will be covered up. No, it's a goal. Ravelli thought she had it, but that just slipped past. And that is going to be a goal. I think Beach has it for a second goal at 8-11. Oh, Ravelli thought she had it covered, and it just slipped through. She has been fantastic thus far in the game with a great save on Greenberg, point blank. That one just caused Pioneer a little trouble. Cundiff trying to move it ahead. Now Portinga has it coming down the far boards. Portinga gains the Husky zone in along the far boards. Patriga gets it back into the neutral zone. Cundiff feeds it down the near boards. Pioneer touches up to avoid a delayed offsides with 7:55 left to go here in the second. Now that puck in along the far boards. Patriga trying to fire it back deep, but Stella Young has it in her own zone. She moves it down the near boards and tipped ahead by Shikachi. Shikachi racing back to try and get to it. Grinjevic into the near corner of Grinjevic, trying to knock it away. Still battling. Does indeed sound like it was Beach with her second goal, so she has a brace. That puck fired all the way down the ice. That is going to be icing and head back into the Husky zone. Pioneer has beat the Huskies twice in the first game of the season and in January, but the Huskies here have a 2-0 lead, trying to put a little damper on Seniorite here for Pioneer. Face off in the near face-off circle. That's going to be to Bossman's left. Yee taking that face off. Now the puck tipped by out. In along the near boards. Here comes Horvath. Horvath brings it back in. Horvath trying to make a move. Faggy trying to move the other direction. Bacallis holds it in at the near point. Now Heben onto the far circle. Heben with a rising shot. That comes all the way to the far point. Held in there by Alexis Young. Puck into the far corner. Grab there. Nalepa trying to get it out of the zone. Battle for it outside the far circle. Rosenfeld trying to poke that away as that'll get sent all the way down the ice. That will be icing, and again, head back into the Husky zone. 6:43 left to go here in the second. 2-0, Huskies with the lead. 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second. Both by Beach. Porting in to take the face-off in the far face-off circle versus Greenberg. At the Bossman's right. Puck into the far corner. Trying to pull it all the way around. Chikachi has it. Chikachi outside the near circle. McWilliams trying to pull that away. That comes all the way to the far point. Cundiff trying to get to it. That slips back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up. Puck grabbed. Grinjevic has it coming down the far boards. Grunjevich fires it. Cundiff has it at her own blue line. Cundiff ripped ahead, tipped by Shikachi. Set right down the near boards. Bergman backhands it, grabbed, now racing in. Here comes Nalepa. Nalepa, top of the far circle, that driven just wide. Pioneer sends it down the near boards. Jewel looking to hold it in at the near point. That puck tipped. That'll go in along the far boards. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer. Pace trying to move it over. Pace outside the far circle. Now Portinga trying to get to it. That puck right back behind the Husky goal. Trying to feed it out in front. There's a shot by Heben. That went off of a skate. Now coming the other direction. Here comes the Huskies. Greenberg has it. Greenberg trying to get around. Bergman. Now Cundiff drives her wide. That puck rims all the way outside the near circle. Tipped. Faggy had it. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Portinga. Portinga coming down the near boards. Portinga into the slot. Moving it over to Pace. And into the far corner. Puck grab. Chikachi trying it. There's another shot. Bossman with the save. Comes onto the far circle. Another shot and a goal. Pioneer scores. As that was Pace with the goal at 5:04. As Bossman was screened out in front. Pace able to put it in. And it is now 2-1. Huskies with the 1-goal lead, but Pioneer has it back to a 1-goal game. Face off at center ice. Beach taking the face off, puck in along the near boards. Right back into the Husky zone. Big Eat into the far corner. Heben trying to pull that away. Heben in along the end boards. McAllis outside the near circle. That comes back to Estella Young, who holds it in. Deflects off of a Husky. Now Beach the other direction through the neutral zone. Beach puts it deep into the Pioneer zone. Her and Estelle Young get tangled up. Now Alexis Young coming down the far boards. Alexis Young trying to feed it ahead. That puck knocked down. Held in. Top of the far circle. Shot there. That goes just wide outside and along the near boards. Allen had it. Now that pulled ahead. Heben over center ice. Heben coming down the near boards. Heben trying to get around Faggy. That puck all the way outside the far circle. Rosenfeld trying to pull that away. That puck grabbed. Heading back with it is Beach at the far point in the Pioneer zone. Beach has a pair of goals looking for the hat trick. Now that puck sent by Cundiff back out into the neutral zone. Now turning that puck back to Cundiff in her own end. Right to center ice. Now deflected to the Pioneer blue line. Allen has it there. Estella Young gets it all the way back right into the Husky end. Puck outside the near circle with 3:40 left to go. Loose and grabbed by Ricci. Ricci gains the Pioneer zone. Ricci makes a move to the near side. Ricci, good job to drive her wide. Yee with a shot. Saved by Ravelli. 3:29 left to go here in the second. 2-1, Huskies with the lead. Face off in the far face-off circle. Portinga to take the face-off. On the other side. Shikachi gets it in the neutral zone. Shikachi gains the zone onto the near circle. Shikachi back behind, fires it out in front. Portinga with the shot and Bossman with the save. Back the other direction. Here comes the Huskies. Meyer trying to put it back deep. Puck into the near corner. Cundiff goes back to get it. Knocked away outside the near circle. Now brought right back behind the Pioneer goal as Ricci trying to feed it out in front. That pulled down the near boards. Deflected away from Portinga. Loose onto the near circle. Puck in along the near boards. Shikachi trying to move it ahead. Now racing ahead with it. Grabbed. Pace coming down into the Husky zone. Pace trying to move it into the slot. Yee fires it right back to the Pioneer blue line where Cundiff has it. Cundiff moves it in along the near boards. Deflected over to Chikachi. Chikachi onto the near circle. Chikachi trying to make it right back behind. Firing it. That deflects into the far corner. Chikachi with it there. Trying to avoid Yee. That goes right through the crease. Now Bergman with a shot deflects all the way into the far corner. Chikachi with it there. Moving it in along the end boards. Grinjevic has it into the near corner. Grinjevic outside the near circle. Portinga with it. Portinga with the shot that got caught in a pair of skates. Trying to move it back deep there is Chikachi. And back. Bergman trying to hold it in at the near point. Now that'll come all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Grabbed by McBrien. Right back behind McBrien. Trying to send it down the far boards. That'll go all the way back. Grinjevic backhands it. Grabbed. Collected by Bergman. Bergman. That went right off of McWilliams' skate. Gathered up. Grinjevic fires it back deep into the Pioneer zone. McBrien ricochets it ahead. Here comes Pace. Pace racing ahead with it. Pace over to Portinga. Portinga with the shot that just goes wide. Portinga trying to grab it underneath the near circle. Pulled by Grinjevic the other way. Grinjevic moves it ahead. Coming with it. Here comes the Huskies trying to gain the zone. As Nalepa fires it back deep. Picked up by Horvath back behind her own goal. 58 seconds left to go here in the second. 2-1. Huskies with the lead. As another save by Ravelli. Puck in along the near boards. Deflected back to the near point. Jewell holding it in. Deflected. Excuse me, that was Shomack. Horvath into the near corner. Now that comes Shomack trying to hold it in. That out. Delayed offsides. Huskies have to reset. Now bringing it ahead. Here comes Horvath trying to get over her own blue line. Greenberg making it tough. Heben has it at the far point. Fagit has it outside the far circle. Fagit heads the other direction. Over center ice. Bergman trying to drive her wide. Fagit onto the far circle. Shot there. And a save knocked away by Ravelli. Still loose. Fagit underneath the near circle. Deflected in along the near boards. Tipped back. Grabbed. Loose. Now fed down the far boards by Kong. Picked up by Heben and fired deep, but that will do it for the second at the end of 2. It is Huron Skyline 2 and Pioneer 1. A message from the coaches here on Pioneer Women's Ice Hockey Graduates Night. This year marks our 22nd season of Pioneer Women's Ice Hockey. Our mission has always been to give young women the chance to make the greatest game a meaningful part of their high school journey. Today, that mission feels more alive than ever, reflected in the strength and spirit of our JV and varsity teams. This season, we have the honor of celebrating 5 remarkable graduates whose presence is shaped twice in ways that will be felt long after they leave the rink. Glenn, Evie, Julian, and Minji, as well as Vivian, you have embodied remarkable heart, courage, and integrity. Now you join the Poise alumni family, a proud group of players who will always carry with them what it meant to wear Pioneer purple and skate for this team. As coaches, it has been a privilege to be part of your hockey journey. Whether for 2, 3, or 4 years, we've watched you grow, not only as athletes, but as leaders, teammates, and young people ready to take on the world. Your contributions to Poise run deep. Your leadership, relentless work ethic, sportsmanship, humor, and genuine love for the game has lifted this program and everyone in it. This season, you stepped onto the ice with confidence and refused to back down no matter the challenge. You stood by your teammates and represented them with honor. We have no doubt that strength, resilience, and joy you found here will stay with you long after the final buzzer. Carry it into every new challenge. See each open door the way you see an open net. Trust your instincts. Believe in your abilities. You are capable of more than you know. Thank you for being extraordinary teammates and the lasting impact you have made with Poise. We are so proud of you and look forward to seeing where your journey leads next. Congratulations to all you accomplished, Coaches Lon, Lynn, Lon, Natalie, Elisa, Steve, Jamie, and Bree. Evie Portinga, number 4, the captain. She says, hockey has always been an important part of my life. When I was 3, my parents had me on figure skates, taking lessons every week at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. With the help of my dad's love for hockey, I started playing once I was 8 years old. Since then, I have always loved the sport. Since joining Poise my freshman year, this program has become such an important part of my high school experience. Over the past 4 years, I've made amazing friendships, many memories, and grown both as a player and a person on and off the ice. Being a part of this team has pushed me to work harder lead by example, and support my teammates throughout every high and low. Having the opportunity to be a captain has meant so much to me. I'm incredibly grateful for everything this team and program have given me. I want to thank the coaches for all of their time and effort they have put into helping me and the team get better. I also want to thank all my teammates who have supported me, pushed me to be better, and made every season so memorable. I especially want to thank my parents for their support and always showing up for my games and cheering me on. Next, alternative captain Vivian Chikachi. She says, I've always wanted to play hockey growing up. When I was 11, after years of watching my brother play, my parents finally signed me up to play for the Ann Arbor Cougars. Ever since then, I've loved every moment I've gotten to spend on the ice. I joined Place during my sophomore year, and I'm so glad it's been a part of, I'm going to try that again. I joined Place during my sophomore year, and am so glad to have been part of this community since then. It's been such a welcoming environment, and it's been an amazing experience getting to know so many of my fellow high schoolers and playing hockey with them. This team has given me the opportunity to push myself and those around me, and I will always be appreciative of that. Through our skates, I have not only become a better skater, but a better teammate, friend, and overall person as well. Getting to go to practices and games has truly been a highlight of these last 3 years. I want to thank my teammates for always supporting me on and off the ice and their consistent positivity. I also want to thank the coaches for everything they put into this program. It wouldn't be the same without it. Lastly, I want to thank my parents for the time and energy they put into my hockey experience and for always showing up to my games. Julian Cundiff, number 10, she says, my first hockey practice was at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, meaning I had to be at the rink at 6:30. Somehow, waking up at 6 a.m. didn't dissuade me from playing. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing and was probably the worst player on that Cougars 10U team. Even though I had started on figure skates at the age of 3, I still had a long way to go before I could even imagine keeping up with the fastest people on the team. Even now that hockey is such a big part of my life, I'm still reluctant to participate in 6 a.m. practices. Although my 9-year-old self was stronger than me on that front, I have grown in more ways than I can count over these 7 years due to hockey, especially during the last 3 years on Place. Whether it was the confidence I built for myself or the friends I made along the way, hockey and the Place team has changed my life, and I don't think it would be the same without it. More than anything, Place has made all the difference in my, though abnormal, high school experience. It will forever be the most memorable part of my teen years, and I will probably never get rid of my Place jacket, no matter where in the world I end up. I feel bad for leaving my teammates a year early, although at the same time, playing on Place has given me the confidence to pursue my educational goals. For that, and so much more, I want to thank everyone on the Place team for these past 3 years. I hope to come back and watch games in the future. Minji Kong, number 20, she says, I started playing hockey my freshman year, and these past 4 years have been such a memorable experience. I still remember the first time I got on the ice when I could not skate and was lost, not knowing what to do. However, I was surrounded by so much support from the coaches and the teammates, and that's what I love about the program. Throughout my high school career, I have had many lifelong friendships and amazing memories on and off the ice. I want to thank Coach Lon, Natalie, and Elise for supporting me throughout my first 2 seasons, from teaching me how to tie my skates to encouragement that helped me get through as a new player with no experience. I want to thank Coach Lynn for helping me further grow as a player and for being so supportive of the team. To my teammates, I thank you guys for always cheering me on and making Place such a fun experience. Lastly, I want to thank my parents for all the sacrifices they have made and for spending their Saturday mornings in a cold rink being my number 1 fans. I never thought I would be able to play hockey, and it would not have been possible without all the support I got. Thank you, Place, for making everything possible and for making it the best 4 years I could have asked for. Glenn O'Brien, number 15. Sorry, O'Brien, not Mick Bryan. I apologize about that. I had a Mick Bryan basketball team the other day. I joined Place in my junior year of high school after moving schools in my sophomore year. The program and people have been something I've looked forward to every day. Lynn O'Brien says the support and commitment through every player helps me feel confident and a part of the real team. I love the leadership I get. I love the leadership I get to example how fierce everyone is and how open to new ideas, and that place is a place for people to commit to learning and grow together. I'd like to thank my parents for always supporting me with skating from the ages of 5 to 18, driving me to games, and giving me the opportunity to take time off during middle school so I could be the player I am today. I am thankful for them stepping in to assist when they could for the program, and for always having advice for me after the game. I'd like to thank Lon and Natalie for encouraging me to play my junior and senior year and for helping me learn how to be a good leader and a helpful teammate. I can always count on them for a reality check and a reset. I miss all the fun in the locker room. I'll miss all the fun in the locker room before and after every practice, feeling listened to and a part of something greater than myself, and seeing everyone every day. My favorite memory from twice is my team cheering me on when I got 2 goals against Skyline and helping me stay positive every time I fell. And that is the fantastic seniors out there. That is Portinga, Chikachi, Cundiff, Kong, and O'Brien. We'll step away for a few moments, and we'll be back with the third period. Pioneer down by 1, Huskies 2, Pioneer 1.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
All right, as we head into the third, nice resurfaced ice rink here. Pioneer going from right to left here in the third period. Huskies scored first at 13:50 in the first. That was Beach, and then 8:11 in the second. Beach again, and then at 5:04 it was Pace who got it back to a 1-goal game. Huge third period here. Pioneer trying to get a big win on senior night. Huskies trying to make it difficult. Portinga versus Greenberg, as Greenberg sends it in along the near boards. Nalepa gets it to the blue line. Cundiff firing it ahead. Tip now. Pace trying to bring it in. Battle for it in along the near boards. Griniewicz gets it out. Pace trying to fire it back in. Griniewicz feeding it in along the blue line. Greenberg had it, knocked away. Pace trying to bring it in. That poked right back into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Cundiff. Cundiff fires it through center, picked up and along the far boards. Here comes Chikachi, but offside the call. 14:26 left to go here in the third. 2-1 Huskies with the lead. Face-off will come outside of the Husky zone in the far face-off circle. Heben in to take the face-off. McCall's to her left. As that puck brought in by Heben. Heben top of the far circle. Heben working her way into the far corner, getting away from Griniewicz. Now headed the other direction. Here comes Greenberg. Greenberg into the zone. Greenberg firing, and no goal. Ravelli with a great save off the post. Picked up. Jewell has it, turning. Ravelli covering it up. Oh, that chip, Ravelli got a piece of it, hit off the far post. The official had a better view of it than I did. 14:01 left to go here. Ravelli with a fantastic save. She gets a little bit of love from her teammates. Face off in the near face-off circle. That to Ravelli's left. Beach in to take the face-off. Pioneer gets a line change. Portinga in to take the face-off. That puck got caught in the official skate. Now Huskies have it. Shomack. And deflected back out into the neutral zone. Trying to race ahead. Pace gets it in. Fagit coming back behind her own goal. Fagit coming down the far boards. Fagit has that poke checked away by Chikachi. Now Portinga trying to get to it. She centers it. Pace trying to have it. Now that puck all the way across and along the near boards. Cundiff trying to get to it as Petriga had it and along the far boards. Now Portinga sends it out to the far circle in the Husky zone. Gathered up by Fagit. Now ahead. Petriga had it into the neutral zone. Portinga trying to move it ahead. Pace brings it into the Husky zone. Pace outside the near circle. Pace underneath the near circle. Centering attempt. Portinga gets it outside the near circle. Out in front. Loose. As that puck steered in along the far boards. Estella Young back trying to chip it away from Allen. Now Chikachi has it. Coming down the far boards. Gets it into the Husky zone. Fagit back into the far corner. Trying to pull that around. In along the near boards. Pace with it. Pace outside the near circle. Centering attempt. Grabbed. Loose. Now here comes Ricci the other direction. Ricci gains the Pioneer zone. Tipped away by Cundiff. Cundiff has had a really good game. That puck. And along the near side, Estella Young takes it back behind. Feeds it down the far boards. Grab. Now trying to move it ahead. Chikachi gets it over. Now Chikachi comes in to the Husky zone. Puck underneath the near circle. Ricci trying to get to it. That right through the crease. Down the near boards. Coming ahead with it. Meyer has it. Alexis Young and Meyer got tied up. Horvath with it. Horvath feeds it all the way to the blue line. Gathered by Jewel. Moved over. Grenjevic has it. Grenjevic at her own blue line. Pace trying to get to it. That puck right back to center ice. Deflected ahead by Heben. Heben has it. Heben shot. Blocker save by Bossman into the near corner. Trying to pull that away. Still battling in the near corner. Heben down on the ice. Flipped over by Rosenfeld. Now Bacalus has it outside the far circle. Bacalus in front. Rosenfeld trying to get to it. That back to the blue line. Held in by Horvath. Horvath right at the near point. Horvath trying to feed it back outside the near circle. Pioneer. That puck into the neutral zone. Alexis Young had it. Tipped away. Here comes Nalepa. Nalepa had it. Horvath. Good defensive play. Gets it back into the neutral zone. Yee has it right at center ice for the Huskies. And fired ahead by McWilliams. Horvath down the near boards over to Bacalus. Bacalus trying to move it into the Husky zone. Bacalus onto the near circle. And centering attempt got knocked away. Here comes Greenberg for the Huskies over her own blue line. Greenberg gains his own. Greenberg onto the near circle. Greenberg shot. Good save. Cleared away by Bergman. Chipped outside the far circle. Still trying to battle there. Fagit trying to dig it out of there. Now McWilliams, that gets put right back deep by McWilliams. Underneath the near circle. Now grabbed. Rosenfeld into the far corner. Centering attempt. That comes all the way across. Bacalus has it. Bacalus down the near boards. Held in by Shomack into the near corner. Grabbed by Greenberg. Greenberg in along the end boards. Feeds it out in front. Now go all the way to the blue line and out. Huskies have to reset. Battle for it. Trying to bring it in as Heben. That back into the Husky zone. Shomack has it outside the far circle. That puck back to the near point. Fired deep by Heben. Grabbing it. Fagit, sending it all the way down. That will be icing and head right back into the Husky zone. Face off in the far face-off circle. That the Bossman's left. Beachin to take the face-off versus Portinga. Top of the far circle moved Right to the blue line. Alexis Young feeds it across. That grab. Here comes the Huskies. Beach brings it in, fires it. That steered just wide by Ravelli. Moved by Stella Young back to the far point. Held in by Jewell. Saved by Ravelli. Beach fires it out in front. And covered up by Ravelli. 9:34 left to go here in the third. 2-1, Huskies with the lead. Trying to put a damper on Pioneers senior nights. Face off in the far face-off circle. Pioneer trying to get a sweep of the Huskies and get things going before the playoffs. That off the post into the near corner. Petriga trying to fire it out in front, knocked away. In along the near boards by Portinga. Petriga into the near corner, trying to get it over to Beach. Beach takes it right in front, steered away, grabbed by Pace. Pace trying to work her way around Grenjevich, that up into the Pioneer bench. Little friendly fire there. 9:12 left to go here in the third. 2-1 Huskies with the lead. Face off back into the Pioneer zone. That's to Ravelli's left in the near face-off circle. Yee in to take the face-off. Eben on the other side. That puck back into the neutral zone. Fed across by Shomack. Now Fagit trying to feed it ahead. Meyer had it, grabbed in along the near boards. Husky gets it back into the neutral zone. Cundiff has it at her own blue line for Pioneer. Tipped by Rosenfeld coming down the far boards. Here comes Eben. Eben trying to get around Fagit. Puck centering, knocked away onto the near, underneath the Husky goal. McAllis has it. Now Cundiff with a shot. That deflects wide to the near side. Rosenfeld trying to pull that away. That puck fired in, and there's a goal. McAllis got it on a beautiful pass, and the game is tied up 2-2. That at 8:32, Pioneer goal. McAllis with it. And now we come to center ice. Portinga versus Greenberg, the two captains. That puck gets over. Grinjevich sends it all the way back deep into the Pioneer zone. Horvath has it back behind her own goal. Horvath trying to angle down the far boards, grabbed and coming ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer. Chikachi moves it ahead, loose into the slot. Now coming the other direction is McWilliams, knocked in along the near boards. Horvath with it. Horvath weaves through traffic. Horvath moves it ahead. That knocked away. Nalepa had it. Now coming down the far boards. Here comes Chikachi. Chikachi has that poke checked away by Jewell, but gets it back into the far corner, trying to get it ahead to Portinga. That puck loose, top of the far circle, now racing the other direction. Here comes the Huskies. Nalepa has it. Nalepa into the slot. Nalepa firing it. That just goes wide to the far side. Into the far corner. Greenberg with it. Greenberg centering attempt. That ricochets off the near wall, grabbed and deflected ahead by Pace back into the neutral zone. Renewitz trying to get to it. Here comes Portinga into the Husky zone. Portinga turns, fires it into the slot. That tip, Greenberg goes the other direction. Greenberg down the far boards. Bergman trying to poke that away. That puck back into the Husky zone. Gathered there, deflected all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Estella Young has it. Estella Young. That puck backhanded in along the near boards. Pace sends it into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Petriga. Knocked down by Pace. Pace trying to work away from Shomack. Now coming in outside the far circle is Chikachi. Chikachi in along the end boards, trying to shake herself free. Huskies have it. That in along the near boards, grabbed by Bergman at the near point. Bergman trying to feed it into the slot. Tipped by Portinga, but knocked away. Bergman again trying to feed it. That loose onto the near circle. Jewell rims it all the way around over to Allen. Allen outside the far circle. Gathered up, knocked down, trying to get it back into the neutral zone. Petriga trying to grab that away. Coming down the near boards. Here comes Bergman. Beach puts it back deep into the Pioneer zone. Estella Young has it back behind her own goal, trying to avoid pressure as that's fired ahead Now racing to it in the blue line. Chikachi with a shot. That deflects off of a defender. Gathered up and heading the other direction with it. All the way back deep into the Pioneer zone. That will be icing. 6:01 left to go. 2-2 is our score. A goal in the first and the second had the Huskies up 2-0. And then a goal at 5:04. That by Pace in the second, and one at 8:32 here in the third by Bacalus, and we're all knotted up. Face-off in the near face-off circle in the Husky zone. That puck moved underneath the far circle, trying to feed it ahead here. Ricci at the near point, held in by Cundiff. Now over to Ricci in the neutral zone. Cundiff trying to poke that away. That puck back deep. Heben chasing it. O'Brien on the far side. Heben back behind the goal. Trying to move it over. Heben coming down the far boards. Heben over on blue line. Heben. And knocked away. Ricochets off the near wall. Bringing it ahead is Ricci. Ricci over center ice. Ricci. Knocked away by Rosenfeld at the far point in the Pioneer zone. That's sent all the way back deep. Shomack has it into the near corner. Shomack feeds it along. Right back to the near point, and that'll go back to the Pioneer blue line. Cundiff has it there. Trying to avoid Nalepa. Grab. Meyer fires it back deep in the Pioneer zone. 5:03 left to go here in the third. 2-2 is our score. Cundiff has it into the near corner, backhanding it ahead. Intercepted, coming in, shot. Ravelli with the save. Puck into the far corner. Rosenfeld trying to pull it away. Excuse me, that was Heben. Now Rosenfeld into the far corner. O'Brien trying to chip that ahead. That comes back to the blue line. Held in by Grinjevich. Grinjevich had it. Backhanded down the near boards in the neutral zone. Racing back to get it is Grinjevich. Grinjevich all the way across. Over to Fagit. Fagit coming down the far boards. Now Meyer has it. Knocked away. Nalepa trying to pull that back. Nalepa gains the Pioneer zone. Nalepa, top of the far circle. Nalepa. That down the near boards. Here comes Pioneer. Pace has it. Pace comes into the zone outside the near circle. Centering it down. Over. Heben with a shot. Still loose. Now onto the near circle. Alexis Young trying to grab it as she pinches. Chipped, and that'll go all the way down the ice. Gathered up by Horvath in her own zone, trying to avoid Greenberg. That moved ahead to Chikachi. Chikachi comes in. Chikachi, far circle. Chikachi making her way in. Backhanded shot. Heben with a shot. Still loose back behind the goal. That puck into the slot, bringing it the other direction. As that was Greenberg with it. Now Heben outside the near circle. Heben underneath the near circle. That puck knocked down. Pace trying to get to it. And along the near boards. Now Alexis Young holds it in. That intercepted and fed ahead to Greenberg. Greenberg over center ice. Greenberg down the far boards. Good poke check by Alexis Young. Grabbed by Portinga trying to make a move around Nalepa. And along the near boards. Gathered up and Pace feeds it ahead. Right in front of the benches it goes. Grabbed by Greenberg. She feeds it all the way across. Picked up there. Here comes Horvath down the far boards. That deflected off of a skate. Alexis Young trying to feed it ahead. That back to the Pioneer blue line. Horvath has it with 2:51 left to go here in the third. 2-2 is our score. Next goal is going to be huge. That puck right back behind the Pioneer goal. Alexis Young has it underneath the near circle. Trying to avoid pressure by Patriga. Now grabbed. Here comes Portinga. Portinga over on blue line. Portinga over center ice. Portinga. That moved as Kong has it. Moved over. And trying to bring it ahead back over there as that was Shomack. All the way back into the Pioneer zone. Whistle. We have a penalty upcoming. Chikachi into the box for our first penalty. With 2:18 left to go, Pioneer will be shorthanded for 2 minutes of the next 2:18. I did not see the call, but timeout call by Pioneer. They want to talk things over. Well, pressure on the Pioneer team trying to keep this game tied with a power play for the Huskies. Pioneer would love to get a breakaway and a shorthanded goal. More importantly, they'd love to not give up a goal. Both squads getting instructions from their coaching staff. Again, excellent crowd here on senior night for both teams. Very grateful for everyone who could show up, and thank you for watching wherever you are at. We appreciate your support of these fantastic athletes. Our next broadcast will be on Friday. We will have Pioneer Women's Basketball versus Skyline, JV at 5:30, Varsity at 7 or thereabouts. Believe we should have Coach Ahrens on color commentary for the Varsity. And I believe Andy Spencer will help with stats. Ravelli goes down to the right, gets that up. Bossman over to the left. Face off in the Pioneer zone. Pioneer shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. One of their better skaters, Chikachi, in the penalty box. Portinga in to take the face off out there with Heben. Alexis Young. I can't see the other person. Bacallis, or no, that's Horvath. Portinga moves it down the far boards. Patriga has it. Now here comes Beach looking for the hat trick. That's steered away by Ravelli. Patriga has it outside the far circle. Picked up. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer. That fed all the way down the ice by Horvath. 2 minutes left to go here in the third. As that puck back behind, fed all the way down the far boards. Horvath has it. Horvath trying to feed it right back into the Husky zone. Steered ahead. Beach has it. Moves it over to Greenberg. Greenberg gains his own into the slot. Greenberg onto the near circle. Wide angle shot. Ravelli with the save. That puck comes in along the near boards. Trying to feed it ahead is Heben. Pulled back by Beach. Beach in the high slot. Beach. That puck steered away. Stick on the... It's going to be a penalty to Pioneer. Slashing call as the stick went out of the hands. Horvath into the penalty box at 1:28, and we will have 1:08 of 5-on-3 hockey. And that's going to make it awful difficult for Pioneer. First penalties of the game, and it results in a 5-on-3. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Pioneer will be shorthanded the rest of the game. 5-on-3 the next minute, 7 seconds. That puck back to the far point. Jewell trying to fire it through the slot. Puck in along the near boards. Cundiff with it. Cundiff into the near corner. Cundiff back behind her own goal. Puck in along the end boards into the near corner. Cundiff trying to pull that away from Beach. That puck grabbed by Greenberg. Back over. Grinjevich has it at the near point. Now high slot. Jewell with a shot. That deflects back to the blue line. Estella Young with a good block. 1 minute left to go here in the third. And along the near boards, Cundiff trying to bring it ahead. Cundiff racing down. Grinjevich trying to get to it. Cundiff with a shot. That into the near corner. 44 seconds left to go. As it is 22 seconds of 5-on-3. Whistle. Interference call. Beach goes into the box for a game that didn't have a lot of penalties. We sure have a bunch in the last 2 minutes here, but that's the way it goes sometimes. 38.5 seconds left as Husky penalty Beach into for interference. 4-on-3 now. For the next 20 seconds, they'll be 4-on-4 for the remainder of the game. Puck back behind the goal, in along the end boards. Picking it ahead. Racing. Here comes Greenberg. Greenberg into the Pioneer zone. Greenberg firing it. Loose, and that comes underneath the near circle. 20 seconds left to go. Puck to the blue line. Shot there by Fagit. Now steered away by Ravelli. 13 seconds left. Puck all the way down the ice. That will be icing as it was 4-on-4. 7.5 seconds left. The first penalty had expired. So even strength when it went down. Shot from the Pioneer side of center ice, and that will be back in the Pioneer zone in the far face-off circle. 2-2 is our score. 4-on-4 hockey. 7.5 seconds left to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. That will do it for regulation. It's coming down. Huskies gathered all around their goalie. Now, I do not know if there is any kind of overtime. It does not look like it. Some of that is dealing with the game clock. So it'll be an 8-minute sudden victory overtime period. If there are no scores in that 8 minutes, it will remain tied. So 8-minute sudden victory. Let's get a little Violent Femmes playing here. That takes me back to high school. I know, I'm old. 8 minutes up on the clock, 2-2. Both squads getting instructions from their coaching staff. Well, senior night's so special, why not have some free hockey during it? As the officials blew the whistle, waiting for everyone to break apart. Eben back into the box for 34 seconds. Beach in the box for 122. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 34 seconds, and then Pioneer will have a short power play of 52 seconds to, Face off right at center. Greenberg taking the face off, bringing it down the far boards. Pioneer going from left to right here in the overtime period. That puck in along the near boards. Pioneer gets it down. Racing at it, Shikachi. Shikachi trying to work her way around 3 players. Poke checked away. Grabbing it. Faggy coming down the far boards. Faggy trying to put it into the Pioneer zone. That back into the far corner. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff underneath the near circle. Makes a nifty move. That pulled away by Greenberg off the side of the goal. Pioneer back to full strength. They have a short power play of 43 seconds now. Puck held in, top of the near circle. Nalepa trying to get a shot away. Here comes Estella Young. Estella Young over the blue line. Estella Young gains it into the Husky zone. Estella Young. Nalepa trying to knock it away. Loose on that bar circle. Faggy trying to get to it. That fired all the way down the ice. 22 seconds left on the Pioneer power play. 6:55 left to go in the sudden victory overtime. Puck ahead. Here comes Portinga. Portinga racing ahead. Cuts to the near side. Portinga gains the zone. Fires it back deep. That in along the end boards. Grinjevich down the near boards. Grinjevich trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by Horvath. Horvath feeds it. Skyline back to full strength. Beach has it. Gets it back into the neutral zone. Gathered up by Cundiff down the near boards. Ricochets it. That'll go back into the Husky end. 6:26 left to go here in sudden victory overtime. Puck loose right at the center. Gathered up. Trying to feed it ahead is McWilliams now. Shomack trying to put it in back deep. Puck into the far corner. Grabbed by Horvath. Back behind her own goal. Horvath underneath the near circle. That fed ahead. Tipped by Portinga. Down the near boards. Portinga gets to it first. Portinga outside the near circle into the near corner. Grinjevich has it back behind her own goal. Now that puck in along the far boards. Tipped back into the neutral zone. Alexis Young has it at center ice. Over to Horvath. Horvath trying to avoid pressure down the near boards. Horvath trying to feed it ahead. Allen trying to knock it down. Now Heben has the puck, makes the move. Heben races ahead with it. as Bacallis to her left. Eben, shot, loose. Bacallis with a shot. Save, still loose in the slot. Trying to get to it. That puck goes wide to the far side. As Bossman with a bunch of nifty saves. Loose, shot Chikachi. That comes out in along the near boards. 5:20 left to go here in sudden victory overtime. Bacallis trying to get to it. Now Heben onto the near circle. Heben with the blast and a goal! Heben wins it in sudden victory overtime. As that at 5:12. Great game by both of these fantastic teams, but a Pioneer goal. Heben puts it in, and Pioneer wins by a score of 3-2 in the overtime period. Boy, the Huskies did not make it easy on senior night. They battled Pioneer hard, but Pioneer comes away with the overtime victory. Skyline gathered around Bossman, trying to make sure their goalie doesn't feel too bad. Now the best tradition in all of sports, the post-game handshake. Little fist bumps out there. For my camera person, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Again, we'll return on Friday with Pioneer Women's JV and Varsity Hockey. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Take care, everybody.